All right. Hey, how about you, PJ? How you doing this
Uh,
week? What you playing, Haas?
I'm doing wonderful, and I haven't had time. I meant to play a little bit more just for this podcast, but I didn't get a chance to. But played me some Titanfall and some Rogue Legacy. That game is awesome, by the way. Everybody
Well,
should
we can
play it.
get into that one day, but you know what? How about you, Tom? How you doing this week? And what you
Oh,
playing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm playing. Yeah, I fell down a Rogue Legacy hole that has been, yeah, too much of that game on my
That,
delightful PlayStation Vita.
oh.
It's
Hmm.
sad and lonely, but it's so nice.
He just brought up the Vita.
It happened 30
And
seconds into our
podcast
podcast.
is over. We're done. This is
All
never
right, thanks
going again.
guys.
Thanks for coming, guys. All right.
No, I
And
love my
Michael.
Vita. You guys suck.
So, Michael, what have you been playing?
Just the usual, Titanfall event. Sometimes I'll pop up in Destiny beta and stare at it and cry, but most of the time I'm playing Titanfall, and just can't wait for Gamescom.
Everybody's waiting for Gamescom, aren't we? And finally, well, other than me, Lewis, how you doing this week and what you playing?
I've been doing great, just working. School's coming up in a couple weeks, but I've just been playing Titanfall, and I've been wanting to get on the new Games with Gold games. I haven't touched them at all, so
What were the games for gold this month? Anybody know?
Crimson
Yeah.
Dragon
Strike
and
Suit Zero
yeah,
and Crimson Dragon, and then for the Xbox 360, it is. Uh, I know Dishonored is the second half of the month. I can't remember what the first half was.
Motocross.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Everyone should play
Motocross
Dishonored
Man.
and ignore all that.
Dishonored sounds like a really good one.
Yes, if you have a 360, make sure you download Dishonored and play that game.
Tell you the honest truth, I played it and it didn't grab me. I think it's going to be a game that I come back to when we have another lull and try to play again, but first time I played it, really didn't care for it.
Danny, you are no longer the host of this
No.
podcast.
Wah, wah.
Exactly.
Danny, you're fired.
Rejected.
You are fired.
I'm
Hey,
just
Danny, how are you doing? How are
Oh.
you doing and what are you playing?
this
Nobody
week,
asked you.
somebody got me back into Minecraft. Fuck you,
Oops.
Tom.
Oops.
And so I've been playing. I've been putting around Tom's server, and then
Yeah.
I've also been going back and I got the deal from last month, not the deals with gold, and I got Tomb Raider, and I started playing that, and I'm just about done it the campaign. And then I also,
Not like the new Tomb Raider, the AAA, right? Not like the weird top-down
no,
Tomb
not
Raider.
the top down. The new the yeah the
Definitive Edition.
Yeah,
definitive edition.
whatever it's called. Yeah,
And
that's a great one.
I also started playing Strike Zero and just like kind of touched that because that game was actually something I was really excited to hear about when it came to the games with gold because I'm looking at like Elite Dangerous to play and Star Citizen. So to finally get into space and start driving around, I was very 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 excited. So that's what I've been doing. And other than that, been doing pretty great. So that's how everybody's doing this week. This week's releases is really nothing. I know next week we have Diablo, so when next week we'll talk about Diablo, and something
It's
else coming out.
Diablo.
Diablo.
Nobody in their right mind calls it that.
Well, have we really given credence to how much Chosen is in his right or wrong mind? Just saying.
Hey.
Minecraft on Xbox One is right around the corner.
Ooh.
No, it's
Hell
not.
yes.
All right. So
You believe
that's
VR.
how-
By the way, I'm sorry to tell y'all that is going to miss August.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
It is August. Yeah, it's not going to be in August.
I don't know about
It-
that. No,
It hasn't even made it to CERT yet. It is
all
not-
right. So we're gonna start this week's topics. This week's news topics. First up, we got Hardline and Evolved got pushed back to 2015
Ooh.
out of the epic November. So how are we feeling about that? Especially Evolved, which is what we've been talking about in our little chat group that we have on the side. How are we feeling about that?
The Evolve is like the game I'm waiting for at the moment. That like it just is so like reminiscent of Left 4 Dead, which I put so many hours into. So I'm pretty annoyed that that's not coming out anytime soon. Well, when was it pushed back to? Next year?
I heard
Yeah,
February
per-
2015.
Yeah,
Evolve.
first quarter.
Yeah.
I would rather just them make a new Left 4 Dead game instead of making something that reminisces of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too.
See, now I don't agree with that because I think Evolve is pretty interesting from what I've heard about the concept of there's just not 4 people or 4 classes. There's like 8 classes, but only 4 can jump in. So it's a lot more diverse than like Borderlands only had 4 different characters you could play. Evolve has 8, and the balancing that goes with that, I'm really interested to see how that works. Plus, you get
Well,
somebody
so is
happy
there-
monster.
Are there 8 different classes, or is it like one person's always the medic, but they can pick from 4 different people, or like can you have 2 medics? Does anybody know, or something like
No,
that?
I believe it is. There's only one of each class, but then I think there are multiple different classes. Of each class, I think there's 2 or 3 different
Okay.
people for each class to pick from. I believe.
What it is that each person, from what I was reading about, is that you have the medic, but you have different people that you can be, and each one of them specializes differently. So typically, it's variants on the same class, but like
So it's
if you
like,
wanna-
it's like a tank, but maybe they have a different way of doing that or whatever.
yeah, like for instance, like a medic. Let's say you're a medic, but you want to be a medic that maybe heals more, like does more healing. There might be a specialization that does specifically heal only versus like say a medic that puts out more damage.
So it's 4 classes, but each class has different loadouts.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want that game. Everything I haven't gotten a chance to like play it, but every person who I see on the internet that's played it is just like obsessed with it.
I have mixed feelings about it getting pushed back. I mean, I feel that I really wanted to play the game, so I'm bummed that it got pushed back, but at the same time, with how busy November and October are, I mean, it's kind of I'm excited that it got pushed back because it gives me, it
Classes.
spaces out my money of spending over the holidays. Kind of, yeah.
I actually really like the fact that it was pushed back because the fact that I probably would not have played it with everything else that was going on. Now that it's going to be in more of a
Getting pushed back.
role, it'll be much better.
I feel that I really wanted to play the game, so I'm bummed that it got pushed back. But at the same time, with
So,
how busy November
as
and
we try to
October
figure out
are,
the technical issues that we're having about hearing echoes. No,
I'm
I
excited
think it's
that it got
interesting
pushed
because
back.
do we think it's because of polish,
Spaces
or
out
people
my
are trying to
money of
leave
spending.
that October? Like Mordor got pushed.
I actually really like the fact that it was pushed back because the fact that I probably would not have played it with everything else that was going on. Now that it's going to be in more of a
Pushed back.
role, it'll be much better.
Agreed. I mean, that
You know what? You can't mute him in the middle of talking, PJ.
That was me.
just unmute myself.
What were you saying, Tom?
Yeah, I was saying like so if 4 AAA games come out on the same day, right? Like that, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either like one of those games is going to be significantly better than the rest, and then the other 3 are going to get, no one's going to show them any love, or all 4 games are going to get like a little bit, and then no one's as successful as they would have been. So I'm actually kind of glad everybody is kind of getting out of the way. I think it's going to sort of make like Evolve going up against something like Modern Warfare, or I don't know what else is coming out, everything. I just see that as a good thing.
I
The
agree.
thing I'm interested in is that does this affect where we could actually see, like we have high tide moments of when big games come out during the year. The first quarter really doesn't have that. I'm interested if this like starts a trend where people are going to start releasing in February.
Oh, I would love that.
I
I would
mean,
love for them to be more spread out, because it's always
Yeah.
like, it's always in the same months, and like these months are always dry.
And it's gonna be the heavyweights. The heavyweights are gonna stay where they are because these new games like Evolve, and games like that, like they don't know if they want to have the best launch possible, so they don't want to go against these huge games. So they're gonna want to push it back. But yeah, like Modern Warfare, that's not going anywhere. Halo, that's not going anywhere. Assassin's Creed probably won't go anywhere.
That's
So
a
yeah.
really good point.
Yeah, but all those games still come out within the same 2 weeks of each other or something, right? I should look at a calendar, but I know everything comes out so close together. I just think it's when something gets pushed out of the way, I just think it's a good thing at this point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, according to what the projection was, I mean there was some people that were thinking about when Division got pushed back and how Ubisoft has also said that next year we're going to be looking at Rainbow Six. A lot of people are speculating that next year in 2015 the Division is going to take the Titanfall slot from this year, so we're going to be looking at a Division launch in March or April, and we're going to be looking at a Rainbow Six Siege launch in Q4 of 2015. So 2 big Tom Clancy games next year, which they're spread far enough apart that they're not going to affect one another. And December, typically toward the holidays, November and October are the times that really kill people. So spreading it out down the road and having maybe a December release for Siege, that makes a lot of sense to to generate sales and of course differentiate yourself from the pack.
I would say Siege would try the summer. I mean,
Siege is getting a lot of really great press, though. I mean, that game impressed a lot of people.
Pushing Siege out in the summer just seems too quick, though. I mean, you're talking about a game that the last footage that we saw of it, and even when Ubisoft has been doing the live streams of it, it's an alpha state. So getting it out by this next summer, that's a lot of polish and a lot of work to ask of a team to do that. I mean, that's why I say holiday season 2015 is more of a reality.
Okay. So that's
Well,
that.
no, I get the one. Sorry, Danny. The one thing that we all don't think about too is that we don't look at any marketing or sales charts. I'm sure that everybody's just trying to get their game out before the Black Friday and Christmas and all that garbage. That's why all the games get bunched up in November, October, November. Because if they're out by then they aren't going to just get lost in a sales lull.
September's even in that. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to try to get it in. Maybe that's just
And it's fourth quarter profit stuff and all sorts of that
That might
garbage.
start pushing games into August by that mathematics.
Yeah.
but
We are
first
already starting to
quarter-
see that.
True.
First quarter is tax season, so
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good count. No.
That's why we have those lulls
April
is because
15th
of the
is in
quarters.
second quarter.
Q2 is tax season.
Hmm.
oh,
Taxes, video game podcast.
Anyways, so our next subject tonight is Naughty Dog. Just lost another 2 senior veteran developers, and
What?
they went to Nvidia Ward.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what happened. Who left? Do we know who left, or do we just know somebody left?
I'll put that up now. But the
Nobody
folks that
knows.
went to Nvidia Ward, and that is what the eighth person to leave. That's the 7th and 8th person to leave. What the hell's happening in Naughty Dog?
They're going out of business.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No.
Xbox gamers
They're gone.
choice.
Yeah, that's not happening.
They're
No,
gone.
They make Sony so much money.
It was Jacob Minkoff and Taylor Krozetsky.
What are their
Why-
positions? I'm more interested to see what level of positions, because everybody that's been leaving there,
All right, Jacob was
Recently-
a lead game designer
Yep.
and narrative design.
And
So the story is
Krozetsky.
now gone.
that's a big hit.
No longer
Well,
has
so-
story.
But story-wise, I mean, if we're just looking at the immediate future, is Uncharted 4, right?
Yes.
Well,
Story-wise, that game's done. Right?
Uncharted 4 has already lost. I mean, the first big announced people that left Naughty Dog all seemed to be around the Uncharted 4 project. That was what a lot of people were freaking out about, was that first off it was I can't remember her name, but it was their lead story designer, and she
Yeah,
left, and
was
she
anyway.
went to a different she went to BioWare, I think it was, and
she was also one of the founders of Naughty Dog, if I remember correctly.
yeah. So you've been getting people that are not in lower level positions that are in higher level positions, like the people that you would expect to stay around through thick and thin, regardless of how how turnover happens and how changes in the company happen. They're the ones that are leaving, which leads me to think, since Sony bought them and now owns them solely as their own company, like, what has happened with that relationship? Because I don't think that they're just leaving because we don't feel like being here anymore, I think there's something that isn't being told to us behind the scenes, that
I agree.
some type of relationship between them and Sony, something bad has happened and they want out.
I completely agree. You don't lose the amount of people that they've lost. I mean, it is utterly ridiculous.
Maybe they feel Uncharted's being like the series in general is being neglected, like kind of milked, and that's like the biggest game that they ever worked on. They built up this big game series, and now it's being milked, so they don't feel like it's fair because Sony's like probably forcing them since this is the biggest game PlayStation has.
I wouldn't say it's being milked, because realistically, if you're looking at the entire lifespan of PlayStation 3, I mean, it was out for several years. I mean, you're looking at probably a 3-year development turnaround cycle for each game. So that's plenty of time. That's kind of the same timeline that Halo runs on, is every 3 years there's typically a new game announced or it comes out. So
Did you seriously just compare Uncharted to Halo?
I'm not talking about the two games being similar. I'm talking about
I think Uncharted's better than Halo, but whatever.
I'm talking about the development timeline between the two games. Each one is typically about 3 years.
But what if they didn't want to make an Uncharted, but Sony's like, we want an Uncharted?
That could be it. That could be a problem. But I wouldn't see them being, like, no, we don't want to make another Uncharted game. Like, I wouldn't see them being that way.
So I'm going to counterpoint, in that I think everyone is making a bigger deal out of this than it is. Okay,
I like to hear this argument.
First of all,
the amount of lead designers and lead people without it being a problem. I want to hear this counter.
I certainly think it's a problem in the future, but like specifically to Uncharted. Danny just lifted up his shirt for the people listening at home who can't see him.
So his argument doesn't work.
So distracting. I don't remember what I was saying. Well, so first of all, like, you have a group of people who kind of, from what I understand, I don't know too much about these guys that recently left, but what I understand, the group of people that left before were the people that started the company together. So when you start to see those people leave, it's like maybe it's because their friends aren't around or whatever, and they don't want to be. Why is everyone laughing? What is happening? But mostly the reason I don't think this is a big deal is because all the decisions these people would have made are kind of done. Like the story designers, the story is set for Uncharted 4. Like, the people that are sort of boots on the ground, so to speak, that actually are making the game day in and day out, are still around. The rank and file of Naughty Dog is still around, and that company can hire friggin' anyone they want at this point to handle that.
Naughty Dog games are always known because of their narrative, the story. So now with all these people leaving, you're gutting the talent. So,
yeah, and
I think it's a big problem. I don't think it's a problem for Uncharted 4 though, because I think that story's already set.
Yeah.
Well, then your argument.
It's future games that are. Yeah, I could see issues with future games.
Your argument is that, like, these people have gone, okay, it's the end of Uncharted, we're leaving now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's. I mean, they were there making Uncharted
sense.
games and they left. No, I could be totally wrong. Maybe some horrible things are happening behind the scenes, but I always err on the side of, like, everyone's actually happy and.
I say that's a very valid argument. I mean, it sounds like it makes plenty of sense. Why would they keep a narrative guy around when the story's already set? And that's what
Uncharted, because it seems, it's a thief's end. It seems like this is going to be the last Uncharted game. Why would you keep all the people making Uncharted still around?
If they didn't want to leave, I mean, if they wanted to stay, they would have stayed. But the time to get out is now. What you're saying?
To be fair, Tom, we all thought that God of War 3 was going to be the last God of War game, and then we got Ascension, which was a steaming pile. So I'm never ever going to say that this is the last game in a series because, especially if it's something that generates money,
You have a point.
studios will find a way to make a new game within that series.
Yeah, you have a valid point. I think so. I'll say this: I think it's Naughty Dog's last Uncharted game, and probably Nolan North and all the other people that make Uncharted what it is. It's probably their last Uncharted game.
If Sony was to hand out the Uncharted license to another company,
They'll
I
ruin
think
it.
that would be the death of the Uncharted series.
They'll ruin it, but whatever.
All right, so that's how we feel about that. The next subject that we're bringing up tonight is maybe the biggest biggest game changer that we've ever had in gaming, which is the EA Access.
Yes.
And it could, I really do believe this really could change things if EA doesn't fuck it up.
All right, so who has this? Does anybody here have it?
I have it.
I have it.
What do you guys think?
I love it.
Same.
What did you get for it for just like stepping in right now?
Madden. I was about to rebuy Madden because I couldn't wait for the next one,
Right.
and now I get it, and I get other stuff.
And I did the $30 year-long subscription. So I got Peggle, which I didn't have. I got Madden. I got FIFA, which I didn't have. I already had Battlefield, but it's not really. I mean, I love that I got those games, but where the value comes in for me is what EA recently said and clarified for everybody.
There, Josh.
Yeah, Josh, you there?
Bum bum bum.
Yeah.
I think we might have lost that.
I'm interested in this because I think it could be great, and for the EA games, is the dark empire of gaming, but it will come out with games that we're all going to play.
They're gonna give me Dragon Age a few days early apparently, and that's almost enough for me to give them $30.
You know what? And you can buy that game too. And they're even talking about preloading. And
10% off too.
That's all cool. Preloading's cool.
and it's going to give you 10% off.
Right.
So what the biggest question I've had about this whole entire subject is
Josh is back.
is more towards for all the audio listeners, Josh dropped because he was having problems for a second.
And I'm back.
If Tom didn't bring it up, we wouldn't have brought it up. But the fact is what I was talking about is I really want to know how long it takes for something to get into a vault. And I think it's going to be predicated on the fact
To get into a vault? What is this vault?
The vault is the free games.
The vault, that's the free games.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the stuff you get when you sign up for it, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So my question is how long it's going to take it, and what my answer is that how long it would usually take a game to get down to $30 or $20.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm waiting to see because when I first heard about it, I was definitely excited about it, but it's all kind of a wait and see game and see how it actually turns out. The initial actually sounds pretty good, but
what would be like a good time frame? Like if it's like 6 months or a year?
If it's a bad EA game, it could be very quick. It all predicates on how long EA allows things to hit the $20 mark when you sell it in real life. I think that $30 or $20 line is the line that they'll go, okay, now it's free on Xbox.
See, that's where I think it's going to... Most likely, I think it'll probably be roughly a year is what I'm thinking it's going to be, or somewhere close to a year.
9 months, we're going to go for that number is what I think.
Yeah.
Because Battlefield came out 9 months ago, so did Peggle.
Well,
Peggle.
Yeah, 10 months ago.
Yeah.
So it came out in October, so... But yeah.
I still think it's going to be sales generated. It's going to depend on how well did this game sell, and I mean, if it's something that sold phenomenally well, they might hold off on it a little bit because word of mouth is going to travel around and people are going to be willing to go out and pick it up from the stores. But if it's something that didn't sell well, drop it in the vault, let people download it. If people get interested in it that might have not been interested from bad reviews and hearsay, they might buy any DLC that's come out for it so they get their money that way. That's kind of how I see it.
So I think this is horrifying. Am I the only person who thinks this is terrifying? Because I don't. So it's just like sort of what's happening with television, right? Where it's like you have to pay for Hulu and Netflix and HBO Go and blah blah blah. So what if all the publishers come out and do this? And it's like, all right, well, if you subscribe to our $30 a year service, blah blah, you get XYZ game and all that. I just think that.
And you know what?
See, now I've heard other podcasts talk about this in the same scenario. You know what? I am absolutely fine with that. Even if every single publisher comes out with it, and they do the same way, where it's $30 for the year. Say there's 10 main big publishers that do this. That's $300 a year. So that's basically, what is that? 5 games? Do you buy 5 games in a year?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy 7 games just this holiday season.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
True.
So for 5 games, for what you would pay for 5 games a year, brand new, on release day, you will get access to basically every single publisher's back library.
That's exactly my argument that I was going to say.
10% discount on.
But are you gonna wait 9 months for I'm really excited for Dragon Age. I'm not gonna wait 9 months to give them.
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then you get 10% discount on buying it brand new and
Digital content.
See, the way I see it happening is, so I give EA $30 now, and then I'm still gonna buy Dragon Age for $55 or whatever their discount is, and I'm still gonna buy probably Call of Duty for $55, and then I've given them $140, and that's almost like 20 more than I would have given them originally.
Well, figure if you want to do it that way, then all you got to do is sign up for the month, because right now there is no restriction. You can just sign up for the month and then buy Dragon Age, and basically you got $6 off. So actually, they paid you $1.
Yeah, it's true. It's a cool idea. I'm skeptical.
And then to be fair, on top of that, look at it this way: like with, for instance, Dragon Age. I'm somebody that has never really been. I mean, I love BioWare to death, but I have never been, won over by the Dragon Age franchise. Although Dragon Age 3 or Dragon Age Inquisition looks really good, I might use that 5-day trial period to literally say, I'm not going to do a damn thing except for play Dragon Age.
It's a demo? You get it for free?
You can get...
for the first 5
no, it's not. It is not a demo. It is the real game.
It's the full game.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's but you don't have to buy it.
You don't have to buy it. It comes with the EA access.
You get the full game for 5 days.
Yeah. So without even buying it or pre-ordering the game or anything like that, you get access to every EA game that's coming out 5 days early.
Okay.
So I could literally,
badass.
I could beat Dragon Age Inquisition
No, you cannot
in 5
do that.
days.
No.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Well, no, you can't do that because they have
in the first 5 days.
Because they have said that there is going to be some sort of time limit or something set to it. So that way you're not just beating the whole damn game.
There it is. There's the catch.
So,
but still, I mean, 5 days.
I mean, it's still a pretty good deal. Yeah, I'll give you that.
5 days early on a game might actually make me want to play a game that I wasn't going to play. Like, I'm not a huge Dragon Age fan, but if I get it 5 days early and then I start really falling in love with the game, the story, the world, the character, I'm probably going to get the game.
Yep. And well, yeah, if they give you 20 hours of a 100-hour game or whatever, yeah, you'd probably buy that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. No, they said it's going to be different for different games. It won't be a standard, say, 2 hours for every game you get to play. They said it'll be based on kind of whatever type of game it is. Like sports games, maybe you'll only get to play one type of mode. Maybe you'll only get to play exhibition mode or something like that. Exactly. That's what I said. I mean, it's still a good deal, and that's what I'm saying. But you won't be able to, because that was my first thought when they first said it, was like, well, I'll just beat Dragon Age Inquisition in the 5 days.
Yeah. Everybody's looking for it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's real unrealistic.
I agree with all of you. I really do want to see the time it takes to get in the vault. But,
Hey, Danny, on that subject, actually, I think games would come out at least a week after they come out and be available in the vault. Because I was thinking, like...
A week?
Yeah.
Time out.
The day it comes out...
Let's explain.
The day it comes out, or at least a couple weeks. Because here, if you look at it, like, if you look at the money, like, the economic stuff, behind it. Okay, a company gives GameStop all these games, right, to sell the physical copies for $60, and then from those $60,
I see where he's going with this.
yeah, GameStop gets a share, and Xbox gets their share for their royalties or whatever. So if they sell digitally for $30 a year, what's gonna happen is they don't have to pay GameStop, and they have a continuous amount of money coming into their company, because if for a physical copy you only sell it once, and if it's resold, they don't touch any of that money anyway. So I think it's not a bad business decision.
Well, that brings up a good point, that it's 100% a way of them battling used game sales. Because if it's instead of us giving GameStop $3 for Peggle in 10 months or whatever, they're getting us $30 for a year for a huge back catalog.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
they just pay Microsoft some amount of money every year for however many downloads they were, Xbox's royalty share, and then that's it, and then they keep the rest.
And you're not even including what it takes for them to hire people to do box art, plastic wrap, shipping, boxes, discs. You're not even including that into that. Like, that's a lot of money being saved.
You know what?
Oh yeah, and that rolls in
Right.
the whole
And you know
digital.
what? We could hear more information about it. Moving on to our next subject.
Oh boy. That was a good segue, Danny. Way to go.
Segue.
Nice segue.
That's for a segue. Thank you. I'm so excited.
It is now a Danway.
It's a Dan way. I like that.
Anyways, German E3 is coming, and we are hearing a lot of
E3.
German E3.
E3 was a couple months ago.
But come on, it's kind
No,
of
he's right. This is actually bigger than E3. There's 300,000 plus people that showed up to Gamescom last year. E3 barely gets, I think they said, like 60,000 people.
Well, let's.
there's-
They're
That's invite
different.
only.
There's
They're
two different.
different.
Yeah, they're two different things. One is
E3 is.
press only.
All right. That was basically a joke that you all focused on for about.
German E3 is funny,
a
Danny.
lot
Way
of
to go.
a lot of things are coming out. How do I'm excited because I'm here. I'm seeing Activision might be bringing back Sierra, which was one of the games that they created one of the games that I love, which was Empire Earth, which is old, not a 2000s real-time strategy game like Civilization, but Civilization's turn-based. Empire Earth wasn't, and it was a really good game. And then the Xbox teased this little almost what you'd expect a hostage negotiator get in the mail of little piecing every letter is a different little thing. And Josh will talk more about that. And finally, what I was gonna have you guys do is each do a minute prediction. So let's jump in. Josh, what about this Xbox tease?
Alright, so this Xbox tease that they dropped on us it literally says Xbox at Gamescom. And they have taken little letters from every different type of box art to make this. Now, the thing that gets interesting in here is some of the things that they've included, and other people have kind of talked to this, is that a lot of people are currently thinking that there is a original Xbox logo in there, OG Xbox. So what people are thinking is Microsoft is trying to essentially kind of give us a hint on things that they want, on things they might do. So from that original Xbox logo, I'm kind of pulling that, and this can be part of our whole prediction thing that Danny talked about. I'm going to guess that what that means is we're either looking at possible backwards compatibility. I know that is the one thing a lot of people have asked for, but
that would be like Gaikai backwards compatibility?
no, I'm talking about a update to the system that gives you a built-in emulator that does backwards compatibility. If not that, the other thing that I'm thinking is that they're going to bring back some OG Xbox series that has not been seen since the original Xbox.
Weren't they discussing a new IP coming? Would that be technically a new IP, a game that's been dead for a while?
Phil
Back?
Phil Spencer did say that there are some new IPs that are going to be coming out for the Xbox One. He didn't really specify if these new IPs were going to be reinventions of older IPs or if they were going to be like brand new things that we've never seen before. But I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little bit of both. What I'm also thinking is that they were very, very particular in the lettering that they picked out. Like there's an E on there from Evolve. There's I think it's an A on there from Fable. So what I'm also thinking is these letters might also show us what Microsoft is going to be presenting in their keynote that they do at Gamescom, their press conference.
Well, so do we think that this? So one of the things that's been happening, especially I think over at Sony, I mean, and you kind of talked to this, Josh, was the releasing old games.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're leaving huge amounts of money on the table by not re-releasing like classic Xbox games.
Well, see, and I think we all knew that Gamescom was going to be kind of big when Quantum Break literally went, screw E3, we're not even going to that, we're going to Gamescom. So that was like, and PlayStation has always had a bigger foot in Europe than Xbox has. So I think with Quantum Break, I think MicroStation was MicroStation. Excuse me. That's what I work on at work. Microsoft.
Wow.
Thank you.
A slip, Freudian slip.
I have to work tomorrow. Okay, leave me alone. But Microsoft has to play catch up there also. So I think that they literally went, we're going to kick down the door instead of just having a meek existence at Gamescom, which I think has forced PlayStation to do the same thing. So I think that there is going to be I really do agree with Josh. I think something massive is coming. And
I think that just to go a little bit further on this there, Danny, is that I understand PlayStation's Gaikai system. It's streaming old games now, which is great. You want to play your older games, you can stream them through Gaikai. I know that there's subscription fees and whatnot worked up in there. But I'm going to bring up a sore subject for all of us that are Xbox people, and I know you guys are probably going to be, really? Sales. I mean, this is
really?
It's been the fastest selling Xbox that's ever hit the market, but Sony seems to have always been one step ahead of Microsoft ever since the consoles have come out. So if Microsoft,
even before that, with the release of the TV extravaganza before last year's E3.
I mean, if Microsoft really wanted to do something that would be big, it would be, we're putting backwards compatibility, an emulator in our system for backwards compatibility. You can play your 360 discs by putting them into the console, and we're not going to charge you for it. If they were to do that, it would be, you'd have all those people out there that have their 360s with their back libraries that they never got rid of. Like me, for instance, my 360 with my back library. I would be like, all right,
So
that's
would that be
epic.
your prediction, Josh? Would your prediction be backwards compatibility?
I'm gonna. You know what? I was bold with the Halo Master Chief prediction, saying that it was gonna be an entire collection with all the maps, and I was right about that. So I'm gonna be bold and say backwards compatibility.
All right.
So
Here's my
question. Sorry, but a question with so Xbox One uses Blu-rays, right?
Yes.
correct.
Does it even have because 360 games weren't on Blu-ray? Does it even have a reader? I mean, that's
Yes.
a hardware thing.
Blu-ray players can read not only Blu-rays, but they can also read
Okay.
other types of formats like
DVDs.
DVDs. They just cannot read HD DVDs, and the Xbox was done on dual-layer DVDs.
I just,
so it
for
would
whatever
read
reason,
that.
I remember my PS3 had to and maybe this is wrong, but I vaguely remember it having two readers in the PS3. So
They
it could
had
read Blu-rays and normal DVDs.
Well, originally when it came out, the Blu-ray would only read Blu-ray, and then they had to do an update to where it would read DVD.
All right.
So here's my question. A little while ago, somebody mentioned a massive change at Gamescom. Now, for a massive change, obviously people are not going to go out and pay for a massive change because they're already upset that they spent money on what we have. So, what would you consider size-wise would be a massive change on our 500 gigabyte Xbox One?
Well, no, and that begs the okay. So I guess what Chosen's also getting at is would backwards compatibility take up a chunk of space on the Xbox? Is
There
I
you
guess
go.
What you're asking, yeah.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if you're gonna add an emulator, which is the
It's
actual
going to take up
program,
at least 20 gigabytes, I would say, if not more.
no, you're not. I mean, you're looking at it's just basically a system. It's basically a program that tells the Xbox how to run other types of formats. So, because it already has the drive, so literally, and they could put that on the system. I wouldn't say it would be more. I would say at max maybe 5.5 gigs. I would not expect it to be that much though, and that's just because of the fact that this is older tech. This is something that Microsoft has been working with for 10 years. This is something that they're going to be able to compress and make not as large and work well within the Xbox One.
That's a lot of space, 5 gigs.
It is, but you also have, what everybody was asking for a while ago, which is the external hard drive support, which can support up to 2 external 16 terabyte hard drives.
Sure.
All right. So that's Josh's prediction.
And realistically, I want to say one more thing, Danny.
Okay.
If you were to tell me that Microsoft came out at Gamescom and said, "Hey, we're going to have you do a 5.5 gigabyte download, and we're going to give you full backwards compatibility to your entire 360 collection," I would not care if I had to go out and spend money to buy an external hard drive to increase the space in my Xbox One. I would not give a shit.
One final thing to that, because I want to hear everyone else's prediction, but do you think that would make people move quicker from the Xbox 360 up to the Xbox One?
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be blown away if
Blown
backwards
away.
compatibility is real. But yeah, you'll sell way more Xboxes.
Oh, so many more.
Who else has a prediction?
I do.
Okay, Lewis, go ahead.
But first about the space, if people are worried about space, Sunset Overdrive, I heard the bundled Xbox Sunset Overdrive version, whatever, is 1 terabyte. So, they're starting to release Xboxes with
A terabyte?
The bundle
terabyte.
would be a terabyte.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the game was a terabyte.
The install is more than the entire Xbox One.
Oh, that would have been a little
I'm
much.
scared for a second.
That is a lot of uncompressed audio.
The game world literally better make me just allow me to run in one direction for literally
Forever.
days. Yeah.
It's gonna be Minecraft. So Lewis, what's your prediction?
Okay, so about the picture, I think that picture is being blown way out of proportion. Like, I feel like the OG Xbox
Are you
logo.
talking about the 1080p?
No, he's talking about the picture I'm talking about. for
Some of those
Gamescom.
P's.
Yeah, the
Oh.
the Gamescom. I feel like that picture is just kind of like a shout out or like homage to them going back to their roots. So rebooting all these old games that were cult classics. They did the Fable 1 anniversary. They're doing the Phantom Dust reboot. Even Killer Instinct, that's even older. So I just think for Gamescom, at the very least that will happen is just another reboot that we haven't heard of yet.
So another old IP.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very conservative guess, but more than likely you're actually going to be right because Gamescom has never been Comic-Con or E3. More E3. I don't know even why I brought up Comic-Con, but E3 is where everything's been dropped on the table. So that
But
is.
you see, I think that is going to be shifting in the next couple years. I believe that Gamescom is going to be the new E3 within 3 years. Because everybody's starting to take it such a big deal just in this last year, and the fact that people are starting to get fed up with E3. E3 is starting to get way too overrated, and everybody likes to switch things up and say, oh, this is overrated now? Okay, let's start something new and have it underrated, because people like to be underrated.
And Microsoft, they know they're going to take the sales lead in America eventually, but they've always been behind in Europe. So I wouldn't be surprised if they would just, step up their game in their game shows over there, or conventions and like Gamescom, and just make them even better, like with big announcements rather than E3. just to impress the crowd over there.
And I do agree with Chosen. I mean, Gamescom. I mean, E3 is essentially, the U.S. space for games being announced and whatnot. I mean, yeah, you get developers from other countries that come in there, but Germany Gamescom, that is like, I mean, you get people going to Gamescom from all over the world. I mean, it is the worldwide game show essentially. People come from everywhere to see it. People come from everywhere. Fans come in, vendors come in, studios come in. So I would not be anywhere near surprised if in the next few years Gamescom as far as announcements go eclipses anything that comes out at E3.
Okay, so so that's Lewis's is the very conservative old IP. PJ, what do you've got?
Well, mine's somewhat onto Lewis's, and I kind of just thought about this while we were recording. Didn't BioWare tease that they had an unannounced new IP? Well, not new IP, it wasn't, but an unannounced IP that they were working on that nobody's seen yet.
They've been doing a viral email campaign to a bunch of people that have BioWare accounts left and right. So yeah.
But because they teased that one that was the superpowers or the teen superpowers, but they said they had a different one that wasn't even that. So I'm thinking KOTOR is coming back.
You think?
Oh, yes.
Holy shit! Oh my
KOTOR is coming
God.
back.
I love that.
That is my
Everything
prediction.
about that prediction.
I
would
love
put
that
School.
prediction. Star Wars,
That's a
yes,
great
I love it.
prediction.
See, because I never
Wow.
got to play it on the original Xbox, and I've been trying to play it on PC, but I kind of
That-
hate playing with a
Do
mouse
we,
and
do
keyboard.
we think that it's going to be part
But-
of an Xbox or PlayStation or on their own presentation?
It's going to be, I think it's going to be part of an EA presentation, honestly, and this actually kind of goes hand in hand with a prior announcement from last year sometime. There was a article that IGN put out where it was talking about how Visceral, which is a studio that's owned by EA, was the studio that was licensed to do a new role-playing Star Wars game. That was what they were doing, but they never said what the game was, if it was brand new, if it was existent on an old franchise. So I think there's a lot of merit to what PJ just put out there.
Really? You're going to give credit?
But they're doing Hardline. I don't know if they would have.
No, Visceral is the studio that they're talking about. This is up in Canada, the Visceral studio that's in Canada.
Yeah.
They're not doing Hardline. Visceral has several studios. There's one
Oh,
that is
okay.
only supposed to be working on Star Wars games,
Okay.
according to E EA.
So, PJ, expand on that. Did you have anything else with that?
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. Like I said, I was just kind of thinking about it, and then y'all got to talking about that picture and the original Xbox video thing logo, and it just made me think of that, and then I remembered about the BioWare teasing an unannounced IP that they've been working on. So that's what I thought about. And then about you guys talking about backwards compatibility, I mean, I don't know. That would be a huge change if they did that, but I have a hard time believing it.
That'll be the KOTOR thing will be real weird considering was it Casey Hudson just left BioWare? I mean,
Don't talk
KOTOR
to me
was
about
like,
it. Don't. It's too soon. It is too
It's
soon.
like his baby, and to see it come back right after he left, that would be.
If Mass Effect 4 fails epically, or if the next Mass Effect games fail epically, I will
They won't.
cry.
They won't.
Anyways, Chosen, what do you have for me for a prediction?
Alright, I'm gonna go bold because you know what? Rednecks like to blow things up, and I'm gonna about to blow your mind. So this is where I'm going. I think that I think that somebody, I don't know where it's gonna be announced, but I think that somebody is either gonna announce one or both of these things.
Baseball game.
No. I wish, but no.
Now, by the way, everybody who's listening, Chosen's objective for this podcast is for Microsoft to get a baseball game. Just to
For-
like,
Hashtag
some-
Microsoft Baseball. Just
For some reason, he doesn't like RBI baseball. I mean, I don't know what the problem.
All right, so here's my bold, mind-blowing prediction. You ready?
drum roll if you may please.
All right. Number 1, Mass Effect whole series collection with remastered engines.
Wow.
I would love that so much.
So
with
you're
all
not
the
waiting
games.
in the elevator for 5 hours.
Oh, if we could get original re-release of original Mass Effect, that'd be cool.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
I would
Yes.
buy that.
I would
Alright,
too.
Alright.
What's number 2?
Yep.
Number 2, same thing, but Gears of War.
Yes, done.
Oh my gosh. Is that what Black Tusk, not Black Tusk, the Vancouver, yeah, Black Tusk is
Black
Black
Tusk,
Tusk.
yeah, Black Tusk.
Did I
Now,
blow
Black
your
Tusk
guys'
is working
mind?
on new stuff.
That'd be awesome.
It would be
Both
awesome.
That'd
My
be
mind has
one.
not been blown yet.
One of them or both of them is happening. Guaranteed.
I'll say I'm still waiting for my mind to be blown because those two things I already expected.
You know
I,
what?
wasn't expecting them this year. I was expecting them next year. So if
No.
it
Yeah, I
comes-
mean I don't
if
think
it did come
I
this
mean I
year-
don't think they're coming out this year, but I was already expecting those to be.
It'll
come.
probably be a teaser if it would.
An announcement would still be amazing.
It
hands
would.
down.
You know what? Here, I'll even go even bolder.
Number 3.
I think one of them will be released by the beginning or end of January.
Oh shit. Oh, that.
If
that
they
would
went up
blow
on
my
stage and they were like, Mass Effect remastered in stores tomorrow.
mind. Right.
Yeah, now that would be bananas.
Blow up everything. It's done.
Yep.
Germany doesn't even exist anymore. If that.
Everybody would freak out.
Everybody would
like,
flip out.
You might
Everybody
as
would be
well have-
like, crap,
have
Christmas is
Valve.
here.
You might as well have Valve come out and go, "Hey, we're releasing Half-Life 3." That would be about the
Stole my
internet would
prediction, damn
explode.
it.
Is that actually speaking of your prediction? Please don't tell me that's your prediction.
Oh, I want it to be my prediction. I'll be honest. I have never paid attention to Gamescom in my life. Oh, hold on, my computer's doing something weird.
We
Okay.
can hear you, so keep talking.
Okay. I've never paid attention to Gamescom. Like you said, it was German E3, so I didn't really care. Being a fantastic American dumbass.
America.
America.
Fuck
But-
yeah!
God bless America. Mhm.
Oh my god.
Tom,
My wild prediction is that one of Sony or Microsoft will say something, and the internet will get annoyingly loud about it.
oh wait, no, that's
like a guarantee. That's not even
Yep.
a prediction.
There's
It's
gonna be
just-
weather tomorrow. It's just gonna happen.
No, I would
Okay.
I'll make my prediction Half-Life 3 because that would be just the best. outcome.
Come on, man. That's like the
That's not
That's
gonna
the
happen.
best outcome. It's
That's
never
not
gonna
going
happen.
to happen.
But
that's okay. That you want to know how much of a running joke Half-Life 3 is for every conference? That's
Alright.
like Colin Moriarty telling everybody that Last Guardian is
Yeah,
going to be
Last
at
Guardian.
every Sony press
I hope that
conference.
game never comes out. By the way, am I the only one that hopes that game never comes?
I hope it comes out and it's
Sony
terrible.
fanboys.
I want Greg Miller to close up on Colin Moriarty as he puts the game in and
A
plays
single
it,
tear rolls down his cheek.
and then just realizes that it is awful because it's been pushed back so long. Just to see the reaction in his eyes, just to know his soul is slowly dying as he's experiencing that moment,
Wow.
would be great.
No love.
All right, so my
Alright.
prediction is
Go for it,
that
Danny.
Sony kind of blew up the internet a little bit by going, "Hi, Hardline beta." And I think it kind of got under Microsoft's skin a little bit because Microsoft had this kick-ass conference and all of a sudden everybody's talking about Hardline. I think that Microsoft is going to come out with Halo, the Halo Master Chief Editions, Halo 5 beta, like the beta multiplayer, and they're going to be like, it's live right now on Xbox.
No.
No, because they
No.
already said that's included in the.
Yeah, they've already said
included
it's
in
coming December 27th.
I don't
to
disagree with that,
January.
but here's the thing, is that I think that it's going to be like a week. It's going to be a week long for now, and it gets Microsoft to see, because they've been really having trouble with the Halo 4 multiplayer by comparison to like Halo 2 multiplayer, because Halo 2 multiplayer was massive, and Halo 4 happened and everybody was playing it, and then Call of Duty, it just ended it. So they're really trying to get back on top with Halo multiplayer. So I think, and the internet would explode. And I think they want that reaction.
I think they're going to avoid the freak out of the Call of Duty. What happened last time is they launched prior to Call of Duty. Then Call of Duty came out, and Halo 4 just, kind of dipped off. I think they're going to avoid that this time. One, because you're not just launching a Halo game, you're launching 4 Halo games with all of their multiplayer maps.
Launching all the Halo games.
Yeah, all the Halos, all the maps.
All the Halos.
Yeah, all the Halos. On all the Master Chief Halos on one console. But at the same time, they're doing it after Call of Duty releases.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fair that people are just going to be like, oh, Call of Duty, great, it's the same thing. They're going to pop it in, play it for 5 minutes, realize nothing's changed, and then Halo's going to come out a few days later, and they're going to be like, this is multiplayer gaming at its finest.
Uh-huh. All right, so that's our E3 predictions and the Xbox tease.
Nope. Gamescom.
Gamescom.
What did I say? Did I say E3?
You said E3, yeah.
Dumbass. Anyways, moving on. All right, raise your hands because the audio podcasters can't see us raise their hands. But who saw Guardians of the Galaxy?
Dude, you know it.
PJ.
I did. Everybody.
All of you.
My gosh, that
movie's real good.
was amazing.
Amazing.
And
Well,
remember,
I feel like we can't talk about it with PJ here. Yeah.
We can't.
Oh no, we can
There are no
say
spoilers,
that like
and
it's
we
one
kill
of
all of
the best movies Marvel's ever come out with.
Mm-hmm.
And
The hype is real.
the hype is real with that, ladies.
I still think the best Marvel movie is Captain America 2.
I don't disagree with that.
Mhm.
Except
It's close.
for it's I think the top 3 movies right now by Marvel are some form of the Avengers, of Captain America 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would say in that order, actually. I would say Avengers, Captain America, Guardians, in that
No.
order,
I
1
think
to
it's
3.
I think it's all 1A, 1B, 1C, by the way. Because the beautiful thing that Marvel's doing right now is going, okay, we've gotten away from just the superhero movies. We're now doing superhero sub-subject.
Well, the cosmic stuff.
And now we're doing comic book movie sub-subjects, comedy, and space opera. So they're now touching just more than a comic book movie. And I don't see.
Well, yeah, Guardians is like this. I mean, it's kind of popular, but it was almost this like slightly obscure.
Guardians
Yeah.
is like the Star Wars of Marvel.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But
I
it's
had.
like they never. It was one of these things where they didn't do anything with it. They just. It's all like crossovers and stuff because they didn't ever think it could kind of stand on its own. It's kind of like Marvel giving a DC a big middle finger and being like, "We can make a movie out of fucking anything, so screw you guys."
Which Marvel giving the middle finger to DC is always good in my book.
And you know what? To be fair, Marvel can continue to give the middle finger to DC until DC does something that's worth Marvel putting the middle finger down. Because right now, DC literally scoffed at Marvel when Marvel had the idea of, we're going to take big name actors, put them as our characters, get them to sign on to multi-movie roles, and then have them do crossovers and make the big teams come to life. They scoffed at them, and now Marvel has done it, and DC's like, shit.
Shit, we got to do this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, I had no idea who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before this movie. And
Yeah.
I-
It's
I
kind
did
of
a
like
little-
this obscure thing. You know?
Well, you know
exactly.
what, when I saw
I
the-
did a little
when
bit
I
of research on it
When I saw
after
the
this
first
came out.
commercial, I saw a raccoon, and I was like, I'm not
Fucking Rocket
saying
Man.
this. Exactly. This looks stupid.
Yeah, but no, okay, so
that was
Chosen-
my thoughts.
And then I
Chosen-
heard everybody's great review on it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to go see this.
No,
And
but
it was
Chosen,
freaking amazing.
you've seen the movie, correct?
Yes, I loved it.
So how do you feel about Rocket now?
He's a badass.
He is a motherfucking
Yeah.
badass. And it's Bradley Cooper. Like, it's funny because...
Which I didn't
think-
know that because until after the movie, I didn't even recognize
Yeah.
it.
Well, no, but I think the biggest thing that ever happened with Marvel...
No fucking way. That's Bradley Cooper.
That
Yeah.
is. Are you
Oh
serious?
my god. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Rocket Raccoon is Bradley Cooper.
That's pretty awesome.
So I think the
And I haven't even
most that
seen it.
ever happened to Marvel was Jon Favreau Or Favre.
Favreau.
Favreau. Thank you, not Favreau.
Brett Favre?
Brett Favre is the greatest movie person ever.
Go
He
back
came out
up.
of retirement again? Is he selling regular jeans?
Anyways, so what John did was go, I need Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man. And it set a precedence to find the right actor for the lead role almost above anybody else. And I think, and because how Robert Downey Jr. helped Iron Man be such a movie, that it showed that if we get the right characters for each role, they almost become something beyond even the movie. Does anybody see the blur between Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr.? Because I can't tell the difference anymore.
Well,
I can't
apparently,
either.
apparently
they're
neither can
one
the
and the
people that interview him at Comic-Con, because at Comic-Con last year, one of the guys was asking him questions, and he actually went, Tony, I have a question. I mean, Robert Downey Jr.
I was being sarcastic.
No, somebody literally called him Tony Stark in a panel, and then he was just like, it's okay, I get it a lot, trust me.
All right, so everybody did love Guardians of the Galaxy, and
It was Vin Diesel's best movie ever.
damn.
All right, now
Talking about things
I don't
being
know.
remastered, let's talk about remastered games that are coming. We have Resident Evil, we have Sleeping Dogs.
What?
and- yeah, Sleeping Dogs is getting remastered, Chosen.
That's awesome.
See, that's a point of contention because Sleeping Dogs was just free, like 2-3 months ago,
Dude, I
Yep.
love Sleeping Dogs.
Games
That
with
game's
Gold.
awesome.
and now it's getting a definitive edition like Tomb Raider got. And who really care? Like, does anybody really care that Resident Evil is coming out again?
Resident Evil 5, yes. The other one's no.
Resident Evil's coming out again?
No, they're remastering the original Resident Evil.
The
Okay.
I
first
don't
one was
care.
cool.
Well, it's called Resident Evil 4, so I don't think it's the original.
Oh, I thought it was the original. No, I'm not kidding. I really thought it was the original. I thought they
No,
went back and went,
No, they're totally doing a remastering
Yeah,
of the
they're doing all
original
of them.
Resident Evil. Yeah.
yeah, 1080p
Oh, I
version.
thought it was just Resident Evil 4. I thought they
Or
were.
I think they did a little while ago. I think I bought that actually on a Steam sale or something.
They've already done an HD version of Resident Evil 4. They put it out on Xbox and PlayStation 3. But there has been a rumor for a while that the creator of Resident Evil got his essentially become disenchantized with Resident Evil 5 and with Resident Evil 6 because of the fact that it's no longer the game that he originally created. So there's been a rumor that he is apparently going to redo Resident Evil 1 but bring it up to date. So like make a scary horror game with like the same type of engine that like Resident Evil 4 runs, so like your behind the shoulder stuff, but make it scary as hell.
So I just posted a link to you guys to an IGN article. There is a Resident Evil 1 getting the remastered for PS4, Xbox One, PS3, 360, and PC. So there is a 1080p,
Wow.
60 frames a second, blah 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 blah.
Oh, no, but this is a bigger subject onto how do we feel about remastering in general. We have a game that has
Love it.
that that has come out one of the original
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1.
Yep.
Exactly. And now Sleeping Dogs was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was
you have
kinda dumb.
such a dichotomy between
You
these
know,
two things.
There's people like me. I've never played Sleeping Dogs. I never played any of the Resident Evils, and I know Metro Redux. That's another remastering. I never played any of those, so it gives me a chance to play them again. Or play.
I don't get the irrational hatred of all the remasters. Like whatever, if you played the game, cool, don't buy it again. But like Lewis is saying here, like yeah, I mean people who are missed it last. Like I'm playing The Last of Us right now, the remastered Last of Us. I missed that game. It's phenomenal. I would probably have not gotten a chance to play it though if they didn't remaster it.
And
Can I drop a ginormous bomb?
yeah, go ahead, Chosen.
Here
Please,
we go again with Chosen and his bombs.
go drink some beer first. And
So, I have missed Halo 1 and 2. Really. So, the only Halo game that I've actually finished is number 3. And I am extremely looking forward to actually having a reason to want to play these games in good quality, because I have a problem with playing bad quality, like pictures, probably because I'm used to good ones. But I am so looking forward to actually being able to play those games that everybody says are just so awesome, and I can believe they're awesome because I love Halo 3.
Well,
I'm
I
just-
don't disagree with you at all because I try to go back and play Uncharted because I have all my friends saying Uncharted's amazing. Uncharted's amazing. I go back to play it.
First one's hard to go back to. Yeah.
It was so hard I didn't play the rest of them. It wasn't fun at all for me. But I think the biggest definitive is that we're all Xbox fanboys and we're all really goddamn excited to hear that the Halo Master Chief Edition was coming out.
Chosen, first off, I just want to say I'm sorry that you finished the fight without actually knowing what the fight was about. And I am pretty much the way that the remastering goes is if you look at the games that have been remastered, most of the games that are remastered are not slouch games. Like they're not taking like some crap happy game and remastering it. A lot of the games that are getting remastered are worthy of remastering. I mean, Halo. I mean, as far as it goes though, I'd say Halo did remastering right. The other guys are trying to remaster their games, and that's fine. The remastering games only have one. But what Microsoft did, as far as remastering goes, is unprecedented. It's amazing. We all love it. We're excited for that game to come out. Me and Chosen probably talk about it on a daily basis, how it just needs to be out already.
Yeah, we're going to definitely stream some of that, because I'm so pumped about that.
And I don't know if you guys
announce it
do
right
this,
now.
but me and Chosen have
We're doing
agreed.
24-hour.
24-hour live stream of the game on the podcast. On the podcast Twitch page at Cleverly Named Podcasts. At Twitch, so that's all gonna be all good. But it's another
Good
game.
Good plug.
Thanks. I know. Plug.
Oh, the wall.
Another game would be Mass Effect. You give me Mass Effect and Halo. That's all the convincing I need as to why remastering is good.
The one I'm most excited, well, not most excited, but I'm really excited about is GTA, that remaster, because that's the only game I really regret for moving to next gen and not being able to play is GTA 4, because I finished the story, but I missed the multiplayer and just messing around, and if I remember correctly, I believe the remastered version you could play with PC players too, so that's going to be pretty cool. Just redo that whole game with better graphics, and hopefully they release it with some DLC, like a story DLC, because that would just make the value, much better. But whatever.
GTA 5 is going to be big. I'm looking I would not be surprised in the least if we see Rockstar pull another freaking $1 billion out of nowhere with that game being re-released on the next gen consoles. It would not surprise me.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
That's why they got to do the story DLC, because the story DLC is overdue.
If they get the multiplayer working, the heists that we were told were going to be working on day one, that still are not working on any of the older gen consoles.
It's still not a thing. Wow.
Still not a
Heist
thing.
Too, because I think all of us playing some heist would be fucking hilarious. as
Oh,
shit.
it would be
That'd be
amazing.
cool. That'd be
It would
cool.
amazing.
Well, no, because one of the first things I would do would be to shoot PJ in the face.
So much hate.
We'd all shoot Danny. Don't worry. We'd all turn around and shoot Danny.
I would shoot Tom and ask him to give me IT advice on how to heal him.
I would light whiskey on fire.
So, and one final thing with this is that who else saw the Master Chief cinematic trailer?
So good.
No.
Maybe.
Oh, what are you talking about?
They came out with a cinematic trailer for the Master
He's
Chief.
joking.
No, legitimately not joking. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh god.
So what did I miss?
It was a cinematic trailer of all, like it took a lot of the Halo 2 cinematics in the game, and what they did was like they've up-revved it or imaged it, whatever the technical.
They use Blur, the Blur studio, which is a studio that's really well known for doing great CG, like stuff that almost looks like live action CG. I mean, it's that good.
Sergeant Johnson, it looks like I could cradle his face and be like,
Dude,
Like,
Narvana
you
looks
see in your eyes.
I just want to hear the line, "Oh, I know what the ladies like."
That's a good impression.
I cannot wait to see him say that in that Pelican rolling
Yeah.
down in the
With
the
second
cigar.
level. Oh, I'm,
The
I'm
cigar in his mouth.
I get on hot on the collar just thinking about it. I know what the ladies like.
That game, that collection, and Nightfall being added into it. I'm sorry, Nightfall looks amazing. I am so excited to watch that. So excited.
Mhm. I think.
Well, the last one they did was good.
But no, Forward
yeah.
Unto Dawn.
Yeah, Forward Unto Dawn. That was
Excellent. And this is why I think Halo is the premier IP in all of gaming, because they have TV shows, they have remastered editions coming out, and finally they have Halo 5 coming out. Uncharted doesn't have this. Gears doesn't have this. Freaking GTA 5 doesn't have this.
No.
Only Halo.
Halo's also the only one with like Microsoft behind them. You know, Microsoft does a lot of, trying to break into the entertainment stuff and do all that kind of thing. Like Sony, yeah, they have for Uncharted, they're having the movie rolling, but I don't see that really going anywhere.
Mm,
I'll be shocked if the Uncharted movie actually is decent.
Alright. So that is the remastered editions. You know what? We're going to go back to something Lewis was talking about. And the Sunset Overdrive bundle. And when I heard about this, it is white. Now, I'm not
Racist.
racist. I am not racist because I have my black Xbox.
Oh, you got a black friend. It's okay.
Well, my roommate before he moved out.
It's a great story.
Do we need to leave
He is
him by
black.
himself to? Oh man.
When I mentioned
So-
this
So,
one,
Lewis, can you expand a pound? Like, what's this terabyte?
A pound.
yeah, I'm trying to remember
Louis,
when I mentioned the 1 terabyte, because I read that there's a Destiny bundled Xbox and a Sunset Overdrive bundled Xbox. The Sunset Overdrive one is white, but I'm trying to remember if it's the Destiny one that's 1 terabyte or the Sunset Overdrive one. But yeah, supposedly they're coming out with these bundles for these awesome games coming out. And the Sunset Overdrive one is white. I don't know if it'll have decals somewhere with, the Sunset Overdrive logo or whatever, but we'll just have to see the pictures when they come out.
I don't see this selling any Xboxes. Oh, a game I've never heard of, and now my Xbox is white. This is what I've been waiting for.
Well, people were really wow, when they showed that developer Xbox, the build team Xbox that was white, and everybody was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, white!" That's really awesome. They should release one. So I guess that's why they're doing it. But
Sony's doing this too. They're releasing a white PS4. I guess that's cool if you want to buy it. I think
The
they're
difference-
cashing in on the people that would buy a second console, I guess.
I just
Yeah.
want the terabyte one.
started the last gen with a white one. Everybody wanted a black one. Now we're starting this one with a black one, but everybody wants a white one. Why can't people make up their damn mind?
Because
Well,
people just want what they can't have.
that and the one big thing is the fact that when the black one came out, just like when the white one, like black one last gen when it dropped, had a bigger internal hard drive. The rumor is with the white one dropping, it's going to have a bigger internal hard drive. So besides the fact that you want that different color, there is a reason to want that one if you have not gotten an Xbox yet. Bigger hard drive than what you would get otherwise.
All right. So we need to finally get to the subject of the night. It is
An
our-
hour and 15 minutes later.
We're just having a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
true.
And you know what? In all honesty, we could always aim for the giant Palmcast length. Have fun with that.
3 hours later.
Yeah, exactly. The importance of co-op. Since Borderlands, co-op has become more and more of an importance to gaming. And now we turn around and the District's coming out with 4-person co-op. And Evolve's coming out with 4-person co-op against 1 person.
Did you
Fable
say the
Legends is doing
district?
same
It's the division.
It's the division, dude.
thing.
Definitely division.
Same
If
thing.
you're,
Definitely
if you're gonna be
Close enough.
you gotta know what you're
Close
talking
enough.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. I just had a Freudian flip. So we have all these games that are coming out with co-op, is the industry starting to just push that way?
You want me to
How do we
start
feel
this
about it?
off?
Because personally,
Hasn't it always? Hasn't it always though? Like think about like GoldenEye. The only reason we all love GoldenEye is because of couch co-op. Nobody's like, yeah, that GoldenEye campaign was so awesome.
Well,
They'll be
there's
planting proximity mines everywhere and blowing everyone.
Yeah.
I think that the way that this is going is a little bit different. I mean, and I talked about Danny pre-podcast about this. What we're talking about is co-op used to be what you were talking about, Tom. Couch co-op. It used to be you sit there with your buddies, got in one room, killed each other, LAN parties, all that good stuff. Co-op was about one another. Then they advanced co-op to online, where you're still looking at, they were using like the competitive online structure. You have a lobby, you get your friends in it, you play a co-op through the campaign, and if you're not doing co-op that way, then you're obviously doing competitive. But the competitive was the bigger push. Now what we're starting to see with the advances in technology, the faster internet speeds and everything like that, we're starting to see a lot of games, Destiny for one, Division isn't the other big one. I mean, even games like that aren't don't have huge sprawling open worlds, but they're still big, like Sunset Overdrive. We're seeing games that you're creating a character, you're going into a world. The world is a living environment. Everything that you see in there is for a single-player story. You can do whatever you want. You can run around, but the thing that you're most likely going to be doing in that world is working with other players in that world to complete quests and objectives and whatnot. So co-op has expanded to being more of a essence of essential gameplay within this current gen of console that we seem to be in. Whereas before it used to be a niche thing that a lot of people were like, we don't have to put it in. But it seems like a lot of the big industry leaders, other than Gearbox, who was a big fan of it back on the original, on the 360 and the PlayStation 3, they were a big fan of co-op online. Everybody else seems to be didn't. But now you see everybody trying to go towards that model.
I agree with that. And what worries me before, honestly, I met you guys in the podcast Unlock Titanfall League, was that I was a lone gamer. I didn't play with anybody else. I tried to get into the Gearbox forums to find other people to play Borderlands 2 with, but I just couldn't find anybody.
I feel like we need music for Danny's little I was a lone gamer. I feel like we need...
No, but I think there's a certain segment that really is lone gamers. And so I don't think you're ever going to get fully away from single player, but I think that it's going to expand more and more towards co-op so people can always play with their friends.
And I think Destiny is doing it right. Like, we all played the Destiny beta, and I guess if you're like me...
Except for me.
Except for Danny. Everybody else, we all loved it.
I played it totally by myself, so...
I played it by myself completely.
Yep.
But when you were... And that was the great thing about it, is you're in this living world where you see other people running around with you, but did you have to join up in a party with another person? Did you have to? Were you forced to in order for you guys to work together to kill like a group of guys that are just in the open world? You never...
There are moments of that game that feel designed to force you to.
No,
there are
there
moments.
is a section that you actually have to be with other people.
That's a...
I only played probably the first 3 or 4 missions, but there were moments of that game where it was like, holy crap, this got a lot harder suddenly. Like every time you went into one of those, I forget what they were called, where the screen got all weird.
No, the shadowed section. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're gonna die in here, or whatever the thing was. Like every time I went into one of those,
Did it literally say that?
Is limited. Respawn.
No, yeah, so it said something about you don't respawn or something like that. It just felt like I was supposed to go in there with a couple of other people. So.
But to be fair though, when you went in those sections, yes, they got harder, but at the same time, it was still manageable. Like I still went from the beginning level all the way up to the level cap and did all the story missions on my own. Now, the mission that Chosen is talking about is the strike mission. Now, the strike mission, which is the one where they literally make it so hard that you have to play with people if you do it. I mean, unless you're a super high level. That mission, if you notice, by the time you got there, the storyline of that area like had already completed itself. So that mission is, even though it's there, it's optional. It's not.
Are you talking about the moon mission or whatever? It was?
No. I'm talking about the mission, the Devil's Lair. If you went into the Devil's Lair, that was just, you're going in there, you're killing a bunch of shit, you're doing a quest, you're doing it to get loot. It didn't have anything focusing around the storyline. The mission before that, the one where you actually went up to like the radar tower and whatnot and did that mission where you sent a signal off into space or whatnot and you found a bunch of other planets, that was the last mission of the storyline, and the next step was for you to go, I'm guessing, to the moon, because that's where the next quests were opened up that looked to be story missions. But that one that Chosen is talking about, it wasn't something that you, if you're just a storyline gamer, you don't have to touch that. If you don't.
But that mission was so much fun.
It was fun, and it's designed to be extremely fun, but they designed it to where it's designed to be extremely fun with other people because they make it so damn hard. Unless, like I said, you're
as long as I continue to get like The Last of Us or like Halo like campaign stuff, like I'm totally cool with it. Like is it The Division, that like weird post-apocalyptic type thing?
Yeah, the Tom Clancy.
That looks so sweet. The District? Division? What is this?
Division.
Stop confusing me, Danny. Like that game looks so good, but I wouldn't want everything to be that.
I don't ever think we're going to get everything to be one of any genre. I just say that that's going to be kind of the new trend in this gen of games, is going to be that style of game like The Division and Destiny.
Yeah, because I think this whole generation, it will actually just be a generation of sharing everything. Because I mean, they built the Xbox dashboard like a social network, right? You have your activity feed, you can like it, you can comment on different activity things.
Has anyone used either of the share features? Just out of curiosity.
A little bit.
What are we talking about?
Just like, have you ever, like, besides Twitch, has anybody used like I don't even know what's on there, like the share button on the PS4 or like any of that stuff?
Okay, I've never used a share button on the PS4. As far as the Xbox goes, though, I have done the record that, and I have done the upload of my recorded stuff. I am all about that. That stuff is awesome.
Same here.
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay. I think that it's weird because they are, like, especially like the share button, it's pandering to like the hardest of the hardcore audience, right? The people that would feel comfortable like sharing their video game stuff on their Facebook feed and that kind of thing. Where I think that the vast majority of users are never going to use that share button or never going to use any of that sort of like integration with their social media feeds.
Yeah, I would never really like post stuff about like a video of me gaming or something like that on my
Guys,
Facebook.
get used to it if we're gonna really use that Twitch.
You know,
Yeah, I mean that's different, but I mean
That's
just like in
completely-
my day-to-day life, like, hey, look at me kill this awesome like my mom wouldn't care about that. Those are the people that read my Facebook feed. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna walk into my studio and say, "Hey guys, watch me kill these guys," and they're like, "Okay, why don't you just record something?"
You know, and for the core, it's not going to be, you know, I agree, that's probably not going to be for just the general person, but for hardcore gamers, yeah, they're going to be okay with that. But I mean, you also have a lot of people now that, because of these social functions that they might not have had, you know, as much. I mean, for instance, Twitch. I mean, yes, Twitch, you had a lot of people that already did it on PC. As far as the console goes, though, there wasn't a lot of people doing it.
the Twitch integration's real cool. I like the Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Twitch.
So yeah, I feel like this whole generation is about sharing experiences. So you do co-op, you share your experience, you know, a campaign experience with your friends. You share videos, you share everything. So I think that's the way the generation is going to go. But you'll still have, you know, the games that you were talking about, like Quantum Break. I feel like I don't think that's going to have co-op. I think that's just going to be.
Oh my god, that game needs to come out already.
Yeah. That's what I think is Remedy's amazing. Anyway.
Remedy's I just want more Alan Wake.
Yes.
Alan Wake.
I'm glad you agree.
So that was
Most
our
underrated game.
subject of the night. And one
Still
last
never
thing
played.
before we go. I've
I
been
don't know.
trying to keep this subject under my hat.
Oh yes, your secret
on my
topic.
Secret topic, because
To
one
every-
of you.
To everyone that is listening, Danny has been extremely excited to share this with us and like
So
blow
we're
our minds away.
The hype is big.
The hype
probably
is
not gonna be
real. So if it
The hype
fails,
this
I am so sorry.
This
You
is
better deliver.
Chosen. I've been hearing rumors that that not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, Minecraft is coming. That there are.
What does that mean? It's here already. It's everywhere.
No, but see,
Don't go to
for
Target.
Xbox
It's
One and
everywhere.
PS4,
Wait, what?
Say that again.
PS4 and Xbox One Minecraft will be released on August 19th.
August 9th.
Okay.
What
Okay,
are
I
you-
don't, my mind is not blowing yet. My mind
No,
is.
because Josh, you're not a big Minecraft guy, are you?
No, I love Minecraft. I do. I have it on my Xbox 360, but
No.
and PJ just said no. So
So what are your sources here, Danny?
My source, and that's
your
the problem,
internet wizardry.
is that my sources are all like second-hand gaming sites. It's not
Oh,
IGN.
this is
It's not
bogus.
Polygon. But the problem is that I'm seeing a lot of it.
Like I said, it hasn't even entered CERT yet. There's no way it gets through CERT, enters CERT, gets approved, and is released in a week. I'm not gonna-
I disagree there because Minecraft is money, right? Like that's literally like the second that releases, they make $1 million in an hour. But I would be blown away if-
Certified? They've been certified since the Xbox One and the PS.
I mean, they would have to recert it for.
They'd have to recert for the
okay.
Xbox One and the PS4.
I will be if that is real, Danny. I will play so much Minecraft with you.
Well,
on
and you, me, and Chosen.
to the listeners, possible upcoming live stream of Minecraft on Xbox.
Absolutely.
If it happens.
I don't like
So
Minecraft.
in 3 months, when
Lewis.
it's actually out.
Yeah, when it actually comes out. It's
Wait,
just that all this week, because see, like I get these Google notifications like, hey, you searched Minecraft. We've got news for you. And I got every day from Tuesday till today, I've been getting notifications going Xbox and PS4 releasing Minecraft. Like I've been getting notifications on these secondary websites for the last 4 or 5 days.
Did anybody just catch a little while ago that Lewis said that he does not like Minecraft? Did anybody catch that?
Okay. I
I don't think Chosen likes it either.
Hey, don't worry, Lewis. I am with you. Minecraft is.
I don't not
Well-
like it. I just don't. I'm not addicted like other people are. Like I don't.
I've fallen down some dark Minecraft holes.
So have I. And
So many hours
Thomas
in
showed me
Minecraft
down
hole.
one recently. Thank you.
No, you didn't fall down it. You dug it yourself.
It's true. I literally dug a hole in Minecraft and I fell in.
Hey, the rule of Minecraft: do not dig straight down. Bad.
It's a
Dig
bad
straight
idea.
up.
Nope. It's a terrible idea.
So I'm very disappointed because you kept this so secretive. I thought it was going to be a lot better.
Yeah, like I was.
You know what? I'm disappointed because I thought I was gonna broadside you with that.
Well, if you were like, hey, I've been talking to, Notch or whatever, and it's coming out next week, and here's some proof, maybe.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
dude,
That is
my,
fair.
my mind is about as blown as hearing
Well, I wasn't
remastered.
PJ.
Gears of War
You know what? You
Master
get
Chief.
blown. Your mind gets blown off of PB and J every morning. So I'm not even gonna talk to you about that.
No, it is garlic, bologna, and cheese. Get it? right.
Oh, that sounds deliciously
Garlic?
wrong.
You say
Garlic.
He did
Yes.
say
Garlic and bologna. That's the worst combination.
That's it. I'm calling it. On that note, tweet your questions and comments and concerns to Cleverly Named Podcast on Twitter, or shoot us an
No.
email.
Cleverly named pod.
Pod. You're right. Cleverly Named Pod, and shoot us an email to cleverlynamedpodcast@gmail. And no, I'm not reading that or that chosen or reading that, Tom. I see, like,
Damn.
on my little tablet, I have chosen is still awesome. Tom is awesome. That's lies because Danny is the only one with the cam so far. So all you can
Just
suck
saying.
Are you
It's
guys?
true.
Danny, you're gonna throw out our Twitch?
It's
I-
false. I have camera.
Okay, what's our Twitch? 'Cause I'm not.
Basically, everything is cleverly named podcast with the exception of Twitter.
Okay.
Because 16 character limit. Stupid shit.
Stupid Twitter.
So thanks for watching us tonight or listening to us whenever you get this, and you guys have a great night. Everyone say bye.
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 First episode, yay, done.
Yay.